All right, welcome back, everyone. We're doing something a little different today.
Yeah, we're going deep, really deep.
That's right. We are taking a deep dive into Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money.
Have you had a chance to check it out yet?
I have. It's not your typical finance book. It's not all like charts and formulas and stuff.
No, definitely not. It's really more about the human side of money.
Yeah, exactly. Like how our emotions and our experiences kind of shape the way we think about money, and how we use it.
Yeah, and make decisions about it. Sometimes those aren't the best decisions.
Definitely not. And it can be really surprising what you discover about yourself when you start thinking about it, thinking about money, that is, in this way.
I think that, like, one of the most interesting things that Housel does is he kind of reframes how we think about wealth.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, right off the bat, he makes this distinction between wealth and riches.
Right, and that's like a really important distinction.
So what's the difference?
Well, when most people think about being wealthy, they think about, riches.
Right, the fancy cars and the big houses and all that.
Exactly, all the outward signs of success, like, the stuff you can show off.
But Housel says that's not really what wealth is about.
No, it's not. For him, wealth is more about like having financial freedom,
Right.
like having options and not being stuck.
It's about security.
Exactly. And that can look really different for different people. It's not necessarily about having millions of dollars.
So, like, it's more about your mindset than like your net worth.
I think that's a really good way to put it. And, this idea that wealth is about freedom, it ties into a lot of Housel's other points, like the idea that behavior is more important than skill when it comes to money.
Right, he talks a lot about that.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, that's a really empowering message.
Yeah, like you don't have to be a financial genius to be good with money.
Exactly. And it's really about having the right habits, the right mindset.
It makes me think of that story he tells about Ronald Reed.
Oh, the janitor. Yeah.
Yeah, the gas station attendant and janitor who ended up with millions of dollars when he died.
It's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
Just goes to show you, like, you don't need to be making a ton of money to build wealth.
And he wasn't like some Wall Street wizard or anything.
No, not at all. He just lived simply, invested consistently, and let time do its thing.
Patience.
Lots and lots of patience. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from that story, and honestly, from the whole book.
For sure. But it's easier said than done.
Absolutely. Especially when you see other people, like, getting rich quick or whatever.
It's easy to get caught up in that. Like you see someone winning the lottery or making a killing in the stock market, and you think, like, why not me?
Yeah, and that's where our emotions can really start to mess with us, like fear and greed,
Well, he
especially.
talks about that a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Fear can make us do crazy things,
Yeah.
like sell all of our investments at the worst possible time.
Or like not invest at all because we're so afraid of losing money.
Exactly. And then greed, on the other hand, can make us take on too much risk, like chasing those get rich quick schemes or, putting all of our eggs in one basket.
Because we think it's a sure thing.
Right, exactly. And then there's all the other emotions like envy, impatience.
Envy. Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Huge. Like comparing yourself to other people, it's so easy to do that these days with social media and everything.
Yeah, it's like everyone's always showing off their best selves.
Right, and it can make you feel like you're not doing enough or like you're falling behind.
And then you start making decisions based on keeping up with everyone else instead of what's actually best for you.
Yeah, it's like you're not really in control anymore. Your emotions are driving the bus.
And that's never a good thing.
Not when it comes to money, no.
It's funny because, like, you think of money as being all logical and rational,
But really, it's so much more emotional than we realize.
and one of the things that Housel emphasizes is that, like, we can't control everything.
Oh, yeah, the role of luck and risk.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
you could be the smartest investor in the world, but sometimes stuff just happens.
And it can be hard to accept that.
Yeah. We like to think that we're in control, but the truth is, like, there's always going to be an element of chance.
Think about all those black swan events, the things that nobody saw coming.
Like the 2008 financial crisis.
Exactly. Or the pandemic, for that matter.
Nobody could have predicted that.
Nope. And that's why it's so important to be, like, prepared for the unexpected.
To have a plan, but also be flexible, be able to adjust.
Exactly. Because both good luck and bad luck can play a role in our financial lives.
So it's not just about trying to avoid risk altogether, but about managing it
Right, and understanding that it's always going to be there.
So we've talked about the difference between wealth and riches, the importance of behavior over skill, the role of luck and risk.
And of course, we can't forget about the power of compounding.
Ah, yes. The snowball effect.
Exactly. It's such a simple concept, but it's so
It's
powerful.
like magic, almost.
It really is. Just
Although
just the idea that like your money can earn money and then that money can earn more money.
it just keeps growing and growing.
And the longer you let it compound, the more dramatic the results.
That's why it's so important to start investing early, even if it's just small amounts.
Exactly. Time is your biggest ally when it comes to compounding.
So how do all these ideas, like, tie into financial independence?
Well, I think Housel is saying that, like, if you understand the psychology of money, if you know how to manage risk, and if you embrace the power of
You're
compounding,
setting yourself up for success.
you're giving yourself the best possible chance of achieving financial independence, which, for a lot of people is the ultimate goal.
The freedom to do what you want when you want.
Exactly. Whether that's retiring early,